Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. The tag that I found was an A to Z, so there's, 26 questions about books that I would love to answer. So the first question is A, authors you've read the most books from. And my top 3 authors are Ruby Dixon, the author of the Ice Planet Barbarian series. Then Cassandra Clare, I've read 21 books by her. And 20 books by Orson Scott Card. The best sequel ever, I'm going to say, is Give Me More by Sarah Kate from the Salacious Players Club series. Whew, that was a good one. The worst sequel ever, side note, is The Last Shadow by Orson Scott Card. Terrible. I am currently reading The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. Usually I'm reading multiple books at once, but I finished all of my ebooks on my Kindle. I'm really just reading one book right now. That's an accomplishment for me. D is drink of choice while reading, and mine is definitely the Dr. Pepper Cream Soda Zero Sugar. I love this drink. If I don't have any of these, I will drink one of the ice-flavored sparkling waters, or just regular water. E-readers or physical books, and my answer is yes. Yes to all. This one was hard. F, fictional character you would have dated in high school. I would say probably Simon Lewis from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. He's just nerdy, reserved, sarcastic, like an all-around funny guy. And I did have a relationship with a person who was similar to Jacob Black in all of the bad ways. Gee, glad you gave this book a chance. I would say A Court of Thorns and Roses, probably. I was hesitant to start that one. I had it as a 4-in-1 ebook that I started reading when we were on our cruise several years ago. I didn't think that I was gonna love it. That was really my first foray into the romantasy genre. It does hold a place of honor on the top shelf in my book collection here. So probably Akatar. H, Hidden Gem. Did I not have the physical copy of this book? Oh, I must have read it as an ebook. I thought I had the physical copy. This was one I read for school. It really has stuck with me. It's a very strange book. It's called How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. It was a very strange book, but it was really good. Important moments in my reading life. There are 2 very impactful moments in my reading life. The first one came in 6th grade. We were assigned to read this book called Cages by Peg Carrot. It's about a girl who gets caught shoplifting and she has to do community service. And she ends up having to go to an animal shelter. She falls in love with a dog there. Her family is not able to adopt it, but her nemesis at school is able to adopt it. They get there to adopt the dog, to save the dog. She gets there and the dog has been put down. That was a key moment in my reading life because I finished the chapter and I went on and I was like, wait, what? And I went back and I reread and the dog had died. And I took this book, not this very exact copy, but I took the book and I hurled it as hard as I could across the living room. And then I just sobbed and was bawling. My mom came in and she was like, what is going on? What happened? And I was just like, the dog died, Mom, the dog died. And she knew that would be a very key experience for me in my reading life. Cages. Do not let your children read this book. This was heart-wrenching as a child. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The other important moment in my reading life was Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This is my very first and most special copy of this book. My mom introduced me to this book. It was the summer before my sophomore year of high school. It was a big transition. All of my friends were going to a different school. There was a lot going on that summer. And I was very upset that I wasn't able to transfer to go to high school with my big group of friends. And she told me that I would like this book. And she was right. I spent like 2 very sunny days in my lemon yellow bedroom on my bed, just devouring this book. And then we went and bought the next one. And then I devoured that one. And then we went and bought the next 2. The series changed my life. I got to meet Orson Scott Card. He was awesome. And he signed my book. This book is on the list of things I will grab from my home if it's ever on fire. Dogs, my journals, and this. I just finished reading Bewitching Rago by Victoria Aveline. It's the 8th book in the Clasanian. I actually don't know how to say the name of the series. The Clasanian book series. It was so good. Alien smut, 10 out of 10. Would recommend that series. Really so good. Okay, kinds of books you won't read. I will not read horror. I don't like to be scared. I already have anxiety and I'm prone to nightmares. I'm not interested in horror. I don't watch horror movies. I don't play horror games. I don't like being scared. The longest book I've ever read. I grew up Mormon. I've read the Bible several times. I've read the Book of Mormon more times than I can even count. Pearl of Great Price, the Doctrine and Covenants, I've read all of them. Okay, so that is the longest book I've read. I've read the Bible twice, cover to cover. I'm not counting those. The longest actual book I've ever read was Heartless Sky from the Zodiac Academy, the 7th book. I devoured that series. When the 7th book came out and I finished it, I was torn. Like, talk about book hangover. I was ruined. I didn't finish the series. I was going to start and read them over again, and I couldn't get through the first book again. The 7th book destroyed me, and I've never finished the series. I think there's 2 more books after that one that I don't know if I'm ever going to get to. M is for major book hangover. I'm going to say Zodiac Academy. That was probably the biggest book hangover I have had in recent years, and that was not recently. Zodiac Academy, I finished that book on New Year's Eve 2021. So it has been several years and I have not been able to go back. One book I've read multiple times would be Ender's Game. Again, I have read this book so many times. I've read the whole series multiple times. I love it every time. Harry Potter, Twilight, City of Bones, I'm on my second read through of that series. Definitely Ender's Game takes the cake on that one for me. My preferred place to read is right here to my left. It's my big comfy chair here in the living room. I've got a lamp, blankets, pillows. There's a side table for drinks and snacks. It's just my happy place. It's cozy, it's comfy, but it's also a little too comfy because I get really sleepy. But it's also a perfect place for a nap. But I love this chair. We got it at Ashley Furniture last year. The dogs like the chair too. A quote that inspires me is my own quote. Life is too short to give a shit about what other people think about what you like to read. Reading regret. There's 2. The Martian by Andy Weir. I hated that book. I could do a whole video about how much I hated that book. I hated that book. And I paid extra money to get the hardcover copy that didn't have Matt Damon's face on it because the movie had just come out. I enjoyed the movie. The book was really bad. And the other is Lovelock by Orson Scott Card. Awful. Just terrible. So bad. I needed brain bleach, eye bleach, soul bleach after that one. Absolutely not. Series I've started and I need to finish. Speaking of Zodiac Academy, I need to finish those. I'm currently reading the Shadowhunter series again to get to the 3 latest books that she has released, and I just pre-ordered the next one, Better in Black, which will come out later this year. I need to read the latest Hunger Games book, the latest from the Nameless series by Nikki Robb. Amazing. So good. I have not finished Throne of Glass, the series by Sarah J. Maas. I read the first one and it was okay, and I didn't really feel compelled to read the rest of them, which I know, blaspheme. I know a lot of people, like, that's everything to them, and it was take it or leave it for me on the Throne of Glass. 3 of my all-time favorite books. I'm going to call this series because I don't read individual books, I read series. Ender's Game, City of Bones, and ACOTAR. I am an unapologetic fangirl for Cassandra Clare. Very excited for this release more than any others. Probably Better in Black by Cassandra Clare, which I have pre-ordered the special Barnes & Noble edition and should be arriving later this year. My worst reading habit is that I read too many books at once instead of just focusing on finishing one book at a time. I'll usually have something going on my Kindle because I have a really long Kindle streak that I don't want to break. I think I have 136 weeks in a row on my Kindle, so I'm always reading something on there. And then I've always got a physical book. Sometimes I have a writing craft book. But right now I'm just reading one book. So who am I? I don't know. My latest book purchase was Better in Black by Cassandra Clare. Z Snatcher, the last book that kept me up way too late, was Bewitching Rago by Victoria Aveline. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning finishing that book, and it was excellent. Thank you so much for watching the A to Z Booktuber Tag. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love if you would. Give us a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.